Tim, good evening. How are you? What are you up to tonight or your morning time? We are, I'm taking a break from trying to get ready to travel. So I haven't been doing a whole lot, to be honest. Lorelei's done most of the work. I just sit around looking good. Well, maybe. We, I did take an afternoon nap. So I did take a nap because, we're going to leave as soon as Lorelei gets off work here in 3 hours. 3.5 hours. She gets off work at in 3 hours. And so I went ahead and took a nap earlier. So therefore, I'm going to try to. Lorelei wants to drive the first leg of the drive, and then I'll try to take a nap in the car. But yeah. But I woke up and thought, well, let me work on a few things. Let me kill some time with the live stream, and make sure I don't miss anything I want to take on the trip. So we don't have that much more to load in the car, but I wanted to get the map set up the way I liked it in the car. So I got the car, I went and washed the car, we gassed up the car. We got a few more things to pack away, but other than that, we're in pretty good shape for our road trip. And I got the rice cooker sitting on the table so we don't forget the rice cooker. But Tim, I hope you're doing well. Everybody in the background, don't be shy. Come forward and say hello. This is a channel where you're all welcome. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you haven't done that, please do that. If you have a YouTube channel, shout it out. Let us know. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. 13 watching. You guys give us some thumbs up. But come forward. Drop a chat. Say hi to everybody. And you can ask me questions. I'll give you the answers. But yeah, we're excited. The weather's great. Well, all right. That's okay. The ghosts are welcome. Very rare for me to sleep in the car. I usually hit things while yeah. Well, I'll try not to sleep and drive. I don't like to sleep in cars at all, or on planes or anything. VP says, hey, there's a ghost behind you. I said, well, that's okay. Ghosts are welcome. Gabby says hi. Gabby, how are you? Thank you all for the thumbs up. If you're new to our channel, please feel free to go to our channel. Watch a lot of our great videos. Subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button. All of those good things so that your subscription to our channel, that your sticks around. Tim says, hello, everybody. Gabby says, I subscribe to you. Thank you. We appreciate that. We really do. Without you guys, we wouldn't be nobody. Wait a minute. We are nobody. We just happen to want to be somebody. And liked it. Nice. Thank you. I'm having a little bit of dinner. I'm having some Chick-fil-A macaroni and cheese. But we're doing good. I think we're well organized for this trip. We got all the dog stuff. They don't, We took the dogs on a car ride yesterday in their kennel that we put in the car to get them used to it again. I did buy some calming medicine to give the dogs on the road trip. I think it helped. I tried it out last night on them, and I think it just gives them a little bit of which I'm good with, just kind of a little bit of a relaxation. Not much, but I think it's going to be really good. So, but yeah. Lorelei was tired today, so look, what I did is I took a nap. I can, drive, and so depending on how she feels, she thinks she wants to drive. So if she wants to drive, I'll let her. I'll try to sleep in the car, I am nobody. Everyone I wanted to be was already taken. Boy, you got that right. I feel the same way. Jobs are filled, positions are filled. What are we going to do, Tim, right? How's the temp in the Philippines, Tim? So, yeah, I took it easy today because, I've told you guys, I have this real problem about getting way too excited about traveling, doing all kinds of things, and wind up hurting myself. So today, I took it not really easy, not to twist my ankles, or anything like that, so that I feel good for the trip. The Gabe. No, the Gabe. How are you? Oh, that's a different shirt. Yes, it is. We're getting ready to go on a road trip. So I'm going to be in a car a lot. And I'm not going to wear a tropical shirt while I drive. I just like to wear simple t-shirts that are really comfortable. So yeah, I didn't wear a tropical shirt, but I got them packed in my suitcase. So the Gabe question, yes, it's 100 or 1 p.m. 100. We're going down to the Gulf of America. 4:20. Good morning. There you go. 4:20 a.m. for you. I thought you were meaning the marijuana thing. 4:20 meme. How are you? We're doing good, man. Good morning to you there in Germany. Gabe says, "Oh, I see now. I understand." Feels like 100 degrees. I bet you. I bet you. We got a bunch of rain again last night here, man. Our ground is so wet here. It's unbelievable. It's supposed to rain in this part of the country another 2 or 3 days. But where we're going is supposed to be in the mid 80s and beautiful. So we're excited. Tim is saying hello to you, Meme. Meme, how are you, buddy? Gonna rain a lot for you too? Yeah. Spring weather. Can't do a lot about it. In a couple months, we'll be complaining about how dry it is. So we need to take advantage of it now. But yeah, our rivers are up, our lakes are up, everything's up. Oh, I'm eating Chick-fil-A's macaroni and cheese. We bought it. We bought lunch at Chick-fil-A today, and I bought this because I don't eat. I try not. I know I'm fat, but I don't like to eat a whole lot of food at one time. So, and I'm kind of a macaroni and cheese fan, and I like Chick-fil-A's macaroni and cheese. It's really good. I wish they'd put bacon in it, but it's good. Yes, that's where I thought you were going. Exactly. What time is it? There it is. 9:25. Gabe for me. 9:25. So because we didn't want to cook a bunch of food today because we're leaving in a couple of hours. So trying to wash the dishes, clean out the refrigerator, take all the trash out of the house, stuff like that. And we got all of our snacks for the road trip packed. And luggage, we just got to finish loading up the car. Yep, it's 9:25 there to you're in. I think you said you were in Texas, right? It's dry here. I've not had any rain in weeks. Oh man, it's squishy here. I mean, I just took Sherman. Yeah, I remember you being in Texas. I just took a bag of trash out around the side of the house because I got all the gates locked. And on the side of my house, it's when you walk, it's squish, 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 squish. I'm looking at Lily, my dog just come in. Hi, Lily. So, yeah, 9:26 now, yes. So it's late in the evening, but I got a little bit of time to kill. Then I'm going to pack up the cooler, 9:25 a.m. where Tim is, because, we got a cooler. I like these foldable coolers. They're, you can collapse them way down. They're really good coolers. We got two of them. One, we're going to put like the fishing bait in it and some drinks and some food that we have that we're going to take with us on the trip. And the other one is collapsed, and I got two of them because just in case we get lucky and catch a bunch of fish, or we buy fish at the market, we can bring it back for Lorelei. Geez, 9:27 p.m. here. Yes, yes, yes. So, so I got to load up the cooler a little bit. I got the rice cooker. We got the emergency first aid travel kit. My wife is Filipino. She bought this emergency travel first aid kit, so she's got that out. And so, we're not going out in the wilderness. We're not going to go live in the desert. We're just driving to the Gulf of America. So, but Filipinos are funny that way. So glad it's Friday. Me too. Me too. My dog Lily, the one with the bad foot, I got to put a sock on her. I'm going to try to, we got to get the sock on her. She has she has these calluses because her foot is clubbed. So she has a big callus like this, watch. And there's a seam, there's two of them. And she has a little bit of a bloody crack there. So I think it's been bothering her. So I got to clean it up, and I'm going to put a sock on it for the trip. Gabe, you are still in yesterday. That's right. That's right. Well, the Philippines is 12 to 13 hours ahead of us on the clock, Gabe. Gabe, I got the feeling one of these days when you're older, you're going to marry a Filipino woman. I bet you will. Because you're going to think back and go, man, I remember going on these live streams where these people talked about the Philippines. It's going to put you in there. It's going to put that in your mind. Gabe says, can I guess what country? Yeah, you can guess what country. Absolutely. Yep, you're going to marry a Filipino woman. You look back upon life and you're going to be thinking, yeah, I remember them guys talking about the Philippines and women folk. I think I'll just marry one. Asher says, hi, thank you for being here. How are you? Thank you for the thumbs up as you came in. If you're new to us, which I can't remember, please subscribe to the channel, watch some of our videos. Everybody say hello to Asher. It's a cool name, by the way. Gabe, I'm in the Philippines now. Gabe says, no, I want to marry a Mexican lady. Well, as you get older and wiser, that may change. So keep an open mind. Amber says, thank you about the cool name. And I like how you did the black and the white heart too. I haven't seen that before. And so, Asher, how are you? Where are you from? You don't give a street address or anything like that. Just a big geographical, like we're located in Arkansas. Tim is located in Philippines. Gabe is in Texas. Just something like that. I don't care where you live. All right. Well, we care where you live. We're glad you live in Texas. We're glad that you live in America. So, Gabe, but nobody cares about anybody's home addresses. That's correct. Not on my channel. We don't care what religion you are, or what religion you're not, what race you are, who you sleep with at night. Our channel is all about making YouTube great again and making people feel welcome on the internet and a safe place. Yes, Tim is correct. Gabe, you will change your mind about the Philippines if you ever come here. The women are 10 times prettier than Mexican women, and they're a hell of a lot nicer than Mexican women. I think you live in McKinney. Is that what you're trying to say? McKinney, Texas? Vacuum Black is in the house. Partner, great GTA 5. All right, so you must be a gamer. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you would. I'm in New York. Nice. Good. We are located in Arkansas. They are nice. I do not live in McKinney. I do not. I know you're out in Texas, out by the Sherman, Texas area, which is good. That's a nice area to live. Yeah, I got a brother that lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I know the McKinney area a little bit. New York. My wife wants to come visit New York really bad. New York City, that is. I keep telling her, I don't know. Why would we want to go to New York City? You know, we're going to watch it on TV. Tim lived in San Antonio back in the day. Gabe says, hey, Asher, how are you today? Yep, I'm in New York City, Asher says. Yeah, we got some friends that live actually in the city. I mean, in the city. And, but Lorelai, my wife, really wants to go to New York City. We'd like to go to Niagara Falls up that way, but, you know. Oh, it's good there. Yeah, I can't type. That's all right. Yeah, pretty much. But I have no desire to go to New York City. It just doesn't appeal to me. I've been to Washington and a lot of big cities, Manila, Philippines, Incheon, Korea. You know, just big cities don't draw me. Tim says, I grew up. Oh, let me get to Asher. Asher, also, I am good, Gabe. What about you? Tim says, I grew up in Western New York. No desire to go to New York City. It sucks really bad. Why are you yelling, Gabe? My goodness, that sucks really bad. Come on. I'm good too. Thanks for asking. You are welcome. See, Asher seems like a really nice person. Gabe, are you a nice person? I'm just asking. I think you're a nice person, but do you think you're a nice person? So yeah, we got a long drive ahead of us. I've made the drive many times before, so it's very familiar to me, so I'm not worried about any of that. We've been down to the Gulf of America many times. We're going down there this year to vacation and house hunt. We're thinking about buying and living down there. So we're going to do some fishing. Woohoo! Fishing time. We're going to do some sightseeing. Woohoo! Sightseeing time. We're going to eat some seafood. Woohoo! Seafood eating time. Gabe is asking, Asher, which is a really cool name, by the way, you are a boy or a girl? I don't know if I am nice. Tim, see, I don't know if I'm nice. I get told sometimes on the internet that I'm mean. I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm disgusting. I get a lot of compliments on the internet, Tim. It does sound like a girl's name. It also reminds me, Asher's a boy, which is fine. I'm a boy, as you can tell. Yes, we know you're a boy. Yipper, really, really cool name. It is a cool name. I'm trying to think of, I want to say, and you kids probably don't know this show, but there's a show called Dexter about a serial killer. His stepdaughter, I think, was called Asher, or something really close to that. I like everybody's name, really cool, thank you. I suggested Gabe's name. He won't give me credit for it, but I helped him pick out his name. And Tim is just Tim, and me is just me, and everybody else in here who's hanging out in the background hiding is whoever they are. So, Asher, let me ask you, what do you like New York City? Do you like it? And if you do like it, what is about it that you like? Yeah, it's a little old of a TV show for you, Gabe. I wouldn't suggest you watch it. It's for, old people like me to watch. Oh, I won't spoil it. You're not familiar with Dexter, Tim? I don't think it's on, I think it's on Netflix. It's a fantastic series. Now I can't type again. Oh, it's all right. It's Friday night. Gabe has probably been out partying and celebrating that it's Friday night. and he can't type anymore. Wow. Definitely the decoration. Also, there are nice people there I have met. Really? Wow. That's good. We're glad everybody likes. I'm having some macaroni and cheese, Chick-fil-A macaroni and cheese. They came out with a new sandwich for the summer. It's I'll just tell you a little bit about it. It's basically a chicken sandwich because Chick-fil-A makes chicken sandwiches that has cheddar cheese, barbecue sauce, and some bacon on it. I had one of those today. It was good, but it was like, oh, I could make this at home. You know, a piece of chicken, some bacon, some cheddar cheese, a little bit of barbecue sauce. There you go. But I got the macaroni and cheese from there. Are you asking where I grew up? Well, it's kind of hard to explain. When I was about 12 or 13 years old, I was abducted by aliens, and I went and lived on a additional planet far, far away. So I spent a good 10 or 12 years there, growing up when I was a little kid. So, and I promised to tell my alien kidnappers that I would never disclose where the planet was. So, can you magically shove that through phone so I can take? Oh, you haven't had Chick-fil-A macaroni and cheese? Man, Tim, we got 2 meals today. One regular, two chicken, just freaking combos. Cost us $26 for 2 combos at Chick-fil-A. So yeah, Tim, crazy. Aliens, yeah, aliens raised me, and then they sent me back to the world, to America, to to live here, and that's how I got here. Gabe says, well, I gotta go now because I think he's lying to you about aliens. Gabe, we appreciate you. I have a birthday every month, Asher. Gabe, Tim says to you, I have lived in the Philippines for almost 13 years now. Nice. So we have birthdays every year, every month. I don't do annual birthdays. I pick a random day during the month and I say, hey, that's my birthday. And I just go with it. So that way I get 12 birthdays a year. That's what I do, but I don't age. Yeah, we've lived in Arkansas a lot. I've lived in Florida, the Philippines, and Arkansas, and we're hoping to maybe live in Alabama. We're hoping to retire down by the Gulf of America and in the state of Alabama. We're hoping to find our final house there. No more moving, where we can just live out the days and go fishing. Lawson's back. Everybody say hello to Lawson. Lawson, thank you for coming in. Lawson, say hello to everybody. Lawson's back. How was your school day, buddy? Are you glad it's Friday? Asher's new here. Say hi. Pack, if you get more cake that way. Yeah, a lot more cake and birthday specials. You know, you get more cake if you have a birthday every day or every month. That's great. But yeah, so I'm having some macaroni and cheese from Chick-fil-A. This will be the last thing I eat until tomorrow sometime. But we're excited, as you can tell. We're going to do some live streams at the golf, hopefully catch some fish. So we're excited about our little trip. You know, it's a long drive, but I actually like driving long distances in a car, not a semi-truck, but in a car. And I don't mind taking road trips. I kind of like it. We haven't had a road trip. Last year, we went to Mississippi, believe it or not, down by where HTN lives. I think it was last year or the year before. We went with another couple, Philippine American couple, really good guy, my friend Big John. He was a retired police officer. He played college basketball, went to the Final Four, all of that good stuff. A good man. And 3 days after we got home, he died of a heart attack. So I still think about him. It was good, but we're getting ready for the start of state testing. Oh, yeah. Ah, yeah. That wonderful state testing. What a joke that is. Asher says, I have to work tomorrow, kind of. Don't want it, but I have to. Yeah, Asher, sometimes we got to do a lot of crap we don't want to do, but we do it anyway because it's the right thing to do. Not necessarily what we want to do, but it's the right thing to do. Okay, Crystal's back. Crystal, how are you? Everybody said hello to Crystal. Hello, would you believe a World War II operation called Operation Devon has been leaked? Hell yeah, 3 dressed up like as a number 9 Jasper. I don't know what that is, but I believe that all kinds of operations, because it's over 50 years, most operations are secret for 50 years. Once after that, their secrecy expires, so to speak, and they're made available. Oh my God, Tim says back. Don't get mad at me, but I don't watch you fishing. That's all right, Tim. I won't get mad at you. It's just something I like to do. Crystal says, was John a veteran? I don't know what John you're referring to. But I know there's a lot of Johns that were veterans, yes. True, I agree with that, but I'm glad I have my... Yes, that's kind of what I mean. Sometimes, because I taught college for 25 years, and I worked with big industry and small industry also. And I would tell people, look, a job is a job. A job is not who you are. A job gives you money so that you can live out the life that who you are. So what we work and how we work is not who we are. That's a job. Take that money and live your life the way you want to live it. But it's always good to have a job. It just is. And I'm a big believer in one of these things that if you don't have a job, and you need a job, your job should be finding a job. I'm a big believer in the theory, and I've read books about this, where the experts say, look, if you're unemployed and you need a job, your job should be looking for a job, meaning you should spend 8 hours a day trying to find yourself a job until you get a job. So, very interesting. Asher, can I ask, don't tell me exactly where you work or anything like that, but can you give me the category of job you work, like retail, manufacturing, tourism, education? But Tim, I won't take it personally that you don't watch me fish. Makes me sad, but I understand. So Asher's in the medical field. All right. Crystal says, hello, Timothy, and shame on you for not watching the pack when he fishes. So that's good. Medical field's great. We got I taught nurses, came through my OSHA programs, and I did with nurses and physical therapists for 25 years at the college. I taught the occupational nurses, all the OSHA stuff, so medical field's a good field. Crystal's asking, who's that Chris Asher? So Crystal is asking, I think, asking you, Asher, who's that Chris Asher? Are you thinking Asher above you in the chat? His name is Chris? Or is there a famous actor or somebody named Chris, or a politician? I don't know. Great. I highly encourage it. But let me give you some advice. Don't go into debt to do it. All right, my friend? You know, student loans have to be paid back, and people are going to be paying them back that are in default. But student loans are a trap. I worked in higher education. I mean, I taught for 25 years at a college. It's a trap to get students into debt. Do everything you can not to go into debt for your education. It's probably going to go soon, but I'll stay for a while. Asher, we appreciate that. It was good of you coming in and hanging out with us. It really is. We appreciate new people coming in all the time and what they think. We like hearing from new people. Lawson wants to be a defense attorney, but basically the same thing. Well, yeah, defense attorney is good. Nothing wrong with that. Criminal defense is what I'm assuming. But I tell everybody, you know, when I was a teacher in the college, our college wanted us to try to convince students to take out student loans because it's a big circle jerk and kickback system. Don't take out student loans unless you just got to, and then just take out the bare minimum. All right, Asher, thank you for that. And she says, he said, I subscribed, but I'll be back later if you're still alive. Thank you. We appreciate that. So that's my big thing about student loans. Don't take them out unless you have to, okay? When I went through college, that's what I did. I was able to pay them off really quick. Never had a bother from them again. So just friendly advice, try for grants, scholarships. Student loans are your last resort. It's a lot of people that take out, I've been watching a lot of YouTube and Facebook people today talking about how mad they are because now they got to pay back their student loans. And it's how unfair it is that now they got to pay back all of this money that they borrowed. But we, who pay our bills on time and do good with our money, say, well, that's not my problem. You need to pay your bills. One thing I'll tell you, because Lawson, one thing that happens is this. Young people will take out all kinds of student loans. So maybe they can buy a car. They can buy better computer equipment. They can have money to go party on and eat out and have fun with their friends. Buy a whole new wardrobe with. That's not what student loans are for, you know. So keep that in mind as you age about student loans. It's a trap. Yes, Crystal says, up in Canada land, you have to pay back student loans and grants. In Alberta, Canada, too. Yeah, in America, we don't got to pay back grants, because that's a grant. The definition of a grant is like an award. But student loans definitely got to be pay back. Now, learning's not a trap. Getting you into debt is a trap. So be clear about that. Getting an education's fine. You don't need to be a lawyer or a doctor to make really good money in the world. Welders, electricians, and plumbers, we need them, and they make really good money. Education's not the trap. Borrowing money that you think you may not have to pay back at such of a low interest rate, that's the trap. It bites people in the butt when they get out of college. And now they're having, after 6 months after college, you got to start paying back your student loans. And now you're going, oh, well, how do I pay this back? I took out $30,000, $50,000, $75,000. And they get in their mind, well, I'm never going to be able to pay it back, so I'm just not going to do it. Well, if you don't do it, you take a credit hit. They collect it from your taxes. And a lot of times, and I know this, a lot of people would take out student loans, like I was telling Lawson, to buy new clothes, you know, to get a car, to rent an apartment instead of a nicer apartment. So student loans are designed to pay for your education, not your entertainment while going to school. So they're designed to pay for tuition and books, room and board, but not a new car, not fancy new hats, not taking your buddies out drinking, stuff like that. Crystal says, also taking out a student aid loan for a school or college that doesn't keep their end of the bargain, which is similar to a scam or a scheme. Correct. There is a thing in higher education that they lie to you. Look, colleges want you to come to their school because that's how they make money. And I can tell you firsthand, I was told repeatedly, and I refused to do it, you got to hook these students. You got to convince them why they should go and get your degree program. And you got to tell them how much money they're going to be making, how great of a future they're going to have. And all they got to do is get this degree, and borrowing the money is no big deal. You'll make so much money after college that, oh my God, your life is going to change. It's like winning the lottery. That's not what happens. The majority of the people that graduate college, and now look, part of the problem is a lot of young people now, when they graduate college, they think they should go right up the food chain of a corporation and start making 6 and 7 figures, right? That's not the case. You still got to work your way up. So you get out of college thinking you're going to make $50 an hour, and here we are making $16 an hour at Walmart if you're lucky. Yep, you've had knowledge and experience too, so that's right. So, and that's why we do have fly-by-night schools, what I call it, and they're not credited here in America. We have an accreditation system. We have a lot of places like little colleges that teach people how to be nursing aides, nursing assistants, phlebotomists, and things like that. They sucker students who don't know any better into going into their programs, and then the student finds out when they're done that hospital doesn't recognize the certification you got from that little weird Bryant college over here. The colleges, the hospitals, the doctors, whatever is going, no, because that, let's say David College. The David College offers you a course in phlebotomy, which is drawing blood. But I'm not credited through anything. So when the student graduates, she goes to get a job. She can't get a job because my program isn't credited. Or I get accredited by one group, one of the smaller groups, but not the big ones that the hospitals recognize. So that happens. Nope, you got to work your way up, almost 2 diplomas, and yet even though college is credited, they are not holding their end up of the bargain. So what is it in the bargain what are they not doing, Crystal? I want to know, what is it that they're not, what were they supposed to do that they didn't do? That's a question I have for you. And that's where I tell young people, buyer beware, right? We have to know our rights. We have to understand things. We have to not trust the government, the colleges, the businesses. We have to do our own research. I'm not going to trust when my college tells me something. I'm going to go figure it out and understand it myself. I'm going to ask multiple questions from multiple people. I'm going to verify it before I go, okay, yes. Same thing with the government. Same thing with buying a house. You don't take anybody's word for it. You double, triple check. So that's one thing that I've learned over the years, being kind of an old guy, advice from an old guy. But a lot of people still think college is they're just, and I took it differently. When I went back to college, I graduated high school. Throughout high school, I drank beer and chased girls. That's all I did. That's all I cared about. I had no intentions of going to college. I worked for several years. I worked for a corporation on the low end, moved up into management really quick. A few years in, they offered me a job, and back then, I think it paid 60 or $65,000 back then, which was really big money. And I had a company car. They offered me a company car. And all of those years doing that, the 4 or 5 years after high school, I kept thinking, man, I'd really like to be a history teacher and be a coach, a football coach. Well, I never became a history teacher or a football coach, but I knew and so when this company came to me and said, look, we really like what you do. You've been with us. We have a bigger position. You get a company car. You're going to get $65,000 a year to do it. And this was way back in the day. 60 grand here now is nothing. And I thought about it and said, well, you know what? I told myself, well, if this company thinks I'm worth all of that money without a college degree, then maybe I should go to college and get a degree in what I want to do and do what I want to do. The practicum is supposed to be included. Now I fell into the college working on my second diploma. I'm working to find a placement so I can get my diploma, period. Okay. Dennis! How are you, Dennis? Good to see you. When I grow up, I want to be an AC specialist. Woo-wee. I thought you already were an AC specialist, Dennis. Don't take away from yourself, Dennis. Now, don't do that. Don't lower yourself. All of us on the internet, Dennis, we look at you as the expert of AC. Tim says, I never made more than 60 grand in a year. Going for your doctorate in it? All right, so you're going to be Dr. Arm Candy. Maybe that's what we ought to call you. Dr. AC. Dr. Dennis. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? So you just got to know what you're doing. You got to listen to people, but you can't ever trust anybody. You got to read the fine print. When I got married to my wife, I took a magnifying glass and I looked all over that marriage license to make sure there wasn't any fine print, that I missed. I studied that with the evil eye. Lorelei looked at me like, Michael's back. I am back. Yes, you are back. Thank you for coming back. I make more money being retired than when I made working. Yes, there are a lot of people like that. I got a friend who I worked with. She was an hourly person at the college. And I kept telling her, by the time with her state retirement and Social Security retirement, when she retires, she'll make more income being retired than she ever did being a full-time employee. And it's true. Same, and I most likely won't, but I know the allowable income before deductibles before I need to report income to AISH. Okay, good. And that's what I mean. I wish I could get a job, to be honest. I want to be, Dennis, if you're going to be the doctor of AC, I was going to say, can I be the AC inspector? But that might get me in trouble with my wife. So maybe I could be the director of operations. I could be the logistical coordinator for the AC Foundation. What do you think of that, Dennis? But it is. And a lot of people do that, Tim. A lot of people make good money when they're retired. Now, a lot of people go ahead and work extra. And I'm in a situation where I bring home the same money. From when I was full-time teacher to now, I bring home the same money. The only problem is I don't have any additional money going into 401ks or anything else. So I lose on that. AISH in Alberta is basically assured income for the severely handicapped. In my opinion, the name needs to be changed. Okay. What would you change it to? So for us in America, that would be kind of like Medicaid. And if we ever take over Canada, which I think we've decided We don't want to take over Canada as a 51st state anymore. So we give you guys Medicaid. Someday I will actually file for my military retirement from the reserve. Yes. Why haven't you done that already? Is there an age? I know you're probably of age. Don't you think you should do that? I was on Michael McFarland. I saw him the other day, and I guess he's from the military or disability. I guess he was saying that he's having trouble with the VA last year, cutting his benefits because they deemed his disability not 100%, more like 10%. So, and being in the Philippines, I guess you can't really challenge it very easily. So, I think he's, kind of stuck. But I've told you guys, I've told people, expats for years, no matter what country you live in, if you're getting any money from America, you better make sure America knows you're alive. And you better make sure that if you're a military guy, that you got a way to keep your military stuff active, that you're making sure your money is correct. I'm just saying. We see a lot of that now with the Social Security improvements. So you would have to file taxes on that money? Okay. Okay. Now, even at your age, you'd have to file taxes? I would have thought after a certain age, you'd be tax exempt from that. Or give it a few more months, and maybe that'd be one of the things that is no longer taxed. So she would change that to assured income for people who have long-term disability. So you're going to add a bunch of letters to it. Yeah, we call that Medicaid. In America, we have a program called Medicaid, which is for people that basically didn't make enough money to get on Social Security. Maybe they never had a job and are disabled in one way, shape, or form or another. And we also have Social Security disability, which is a different program for people who have enough Social Security credits, because you got to have 40 or 10 years of work in America to qualify for those. And then you can apply for regular disability. Medicaid is more for people that are indigent, poorer people, people that didn't make any money or never had a job. Okay, so both tax-free? Nice. Yeah, Social Security disability is tax-free. And your military disability is tax-free. But if you got your military retirement from the reserves, you'd be taxed on that. So that means you'd have an additional income that you'd be taxed on. So I guess I'm kind of confused, and I don't know the military stuff, Tim. So what we're looking at is adding another layer of retirement benefit for you. Dennis is going to retire. Dennis, if you're still there, when are you going to Thailand and Colombia if you're still hanging out in the background? We're leaving, Dennis, if you're in the background, we're leaving for the Gulf of America in a few hours. That's why we're kind of hanging out now. I think I'm one of these people that kind of believe that we should adjust the income tax in America. I'm starting to believe, now that I know that at one point in time in history, there was no income tax. So I believe now people under 150,000 a year should not pay income tax. Okay, so you'd be taxed on the reserve retirement only. Gotcha. Crystal's saying, nice, Tim. Can you still work while on being VA disability? It's a great question. I'm sure Tim will answer that. I think it depends, but I know a lot of guys on VA disability that do work, but they're not 100%. Asher says, I am back in the house. I'm not an expert in the VA stuff, but what I understand, the VA, which is the Veterans Administration, you get deemed a percentage of disabled. Crystal, I don't need to work, Tim says. But I think what she's asking, could you if you wanted to? Do you get, yes. If you're on Social Security disability or Social Security, you can get dinged for working too much, correct? Yes, you could if you wanted to, Tim. So, but for a lot of the military guys, I know a lot of guys that are like 30%, 40%, 50%. They have full-time regular jobs and they collect their disability on top of it. I know a few that are 100% disabled and are 100, they don't work. I don't know, I'm sure they're 100% disabled and they don't work, but they couldn't work physically if they had to. But I don't know if you're on 100% disability through the VA system, if you can go out and work if you want to. I don't know that. Yeah. So Tim is saying, yes, Crystal, I would get penalized or dinked if I made too much extra money on top of it. So that's right. Yeah, and so why there's no incentive to work. And look, if you're living comfortably enough, and that's what I try to teach and I try to learn myself. Try to live comfortably so that you don't have to kill yourself working. Try to, now, if that means you need a smaller house, you get a smaller house. If you got to drive older cars, don't buy new ones, don't buy new ones. If that means that you live a little frugal, a little cheaper, you use coupons, you look around, you keep things going, and not spend more than you bring in every month, you can still have a very good life. It's just a different environment that you put yourself in. So I'm really big on that. Now, it took me forever to figure that out. I mean, it's like, look, an example I give is I have an old truck in the driveway. Could I tomorrow go out and buy a brand new, beautiful truck? Sure. Walk into the dealership, sign it, they'd give it to me in a heartbeat. But I barely drive my truck 5,000 miles a year. So why would I spend 60, 70, $80,000 on a truck that's going to sit in my driveway and do nothing? So I'd rather have the $8,000 truck that I got, that I paid cash for years ago, just sitting in my driveway doing nothing. And I still even have my own carrying costs of car insurance and taxes on it. So it costs me something to own it, but at least I'm not losing money when I don't drive it. I could only make $13,000 per year. Okay, yeah, additional $13,000. Fira says, I am 23 and still figuring out life or what will make me happy. Any advice? Sure. A lot of advice. One, what's your dream? You need to have a dream. Tim has great advice. Dennis has great advice. So yes. So give me a little bit more information. Are you a college graduate? Are you in debt? Are you single? Are you married? Are you wanting to get married? What are your dreams? Give me a little bit more information, no personal information, so that we can kind of hone in on how to best advise you. I can give you a lot of big generic advice. Don't go into debt. Don't go into debt. Don't go into debt. Don't get arrested. Be good. All of those, but give me more details. That's not bad, Tim. AISH, you're allowed to make $1,000 a month, so that's $12,000 a year. Okay, that's pretty good. Wow. Yep, and Tim says that's why I live in the Philippines, because my money goes a lot further. Nice. Single, have debt, undergraduate, toxic family. Oh my God. All right. Here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, all right. First and foremost, you said you were like 23. Stay single for a few more years. If you want a good wife, marry a Filipina. All right. Get out of debt no matter what you have to do. Debt is your enemy. Debt is your worst friend, enemy, master of deception. It's the controller of your life. Get rid of debt, period. If you need to, You can look up a guy named Dave Ramsey. You know, some of his stuff is really good, some of it's but good there. Toxic family, here's how you deal with that. So you have an undergraduate degree. Let me tell you about your degree first and foremost. Don't shoot for the moon right out the bat. Get a job where you can grow and learn in the field of interest you. You may have to take a little bit lower pay than you think, but you want to get in and build your way up. Get the knowledge in the field where you want to go. Like, let's say if you want to be an IT specialist that does cyber technology. Well, you kind of start off here. You keep getting those credentials and learning and growing and experience and knowledge. And in a couple of years, you'll be making the 100, 200 grand a year. But you got to start off around 30 or 40 grand a year. So be realistic about what you can do with your degree. Toxic family, get rid of them. I have a really simple point. What happens, what do you do, my friend, when you have a headache? You take aspirin. When you take aspirin, it gets rid of your headache. So when you have a problem, you get rid of it. I know family's a little bit harder than a headache, but you limit the exposure time. You don't take anything to heart. You focus on yourself and you keep moving forward, and you don't let the family pull you back. I have a toxic family. I don't deal with them. I told them, no. Your words. Okay, Tim here. My advice is to check out 50, 30, 20 budget plan. There you go. That's a good one. I know that one. And follow it. You will save for your future. You got that right. Don't get any credit cards. Pay cash as much as you can. That's correct. Get rid of debt. And there's different ways that you can get rid of debt. You know, the rolling method. If you do have a bunch of credit card debt or small loans or anything, student loans included, if you got 5 credit cards and one has $1,000, one has $10,000, one has $30,000, whatever, you keep making payments on all of them, but you get rid of the lowest first, the lowest loan or bill that you have, hospital bill, whatever's the lowest. You pay that off. You immediately take that payment and roll it to the next one, the one above it. Now that becomes your lowest, but you're adding the $100 that you paid on the $1,000 one every month onto that payment already. So now you got 100 plus 100, and now you got $200 payment. That loan goes like this. Then you take that $200 when that one's paid off, and you throw it on the bigger one above it. So now you got $200 plus your payment for that one. Maybe you're paying now $300 a month, and that knocks that loan out quick. That's how you get out of debt. But don't get into debt in the first place. That's the secret. It really is the secret of life. I tell people all the time this. If you don't have debt, then you have financial power. Because when you make an income and you got money in the bank and you have no debt, if you want to go buy a rental property for an investment, you walk to the bank and say, look, I want to buy that. They go, great. You buy the rental property. You can invest in your future when you don't have debt. When you have debt, you can't do anything but pay that debt off. That's it. You're not going to go to the bank and get a $200,000 loan for a rental property because they're going to go, it just doesn't work in your credit to debt ratio. It doesn't fit, so the answer is no. But if you have no debt, then you have no credit to debt ratio. Crystal says 100% true. Yes. So that's some of my advice about that, about finances. Here's a big one then. Tim and I all know this. A lot of us know this. Number one rule about money: when a family member or a friend asks you how much you make, not enough is the answer. When they say, hey, do you want to go and do this? You want to go water skiing with us? No, it's not in my budget. No budget. I don't have the money for it. When somebody comes along and says, hey, can I borrow $20? You say, I'm sorry, I just don't have it. I don't care if you're sitting on $200,000 in the bank. The answer is, no, I don't have any money. I wish I knew all of this 45 years ago. I could be a wealthy man now. Me too. I knew it, well, not 45 years ago because, I'm not old, but I knew it years ago. I just didn't apply it until much later in life. So I encourage you to apply these things early in life. Crystal says, you cannot hold a mortgage on a house. You're not working and do not have great credit. That's correct. You need a good credit if you're going to take out a mortgage loan. I agree with you. And you got to have an income, proof of income. So, thank you. Well, lucky me, I just have a micro debt. Excellent. Your personality is really great. You should have been influenced or something. I'm trying. Asher loves it and says hi to everybody. Everybody says hello to Asher out of New York. Well, I'm trying to be an influencer. Can you help me out with that? Tell your friends, hey, there's a fat guy that wears tropical shirts, even though I don't have one on tonight, that maybe you want to check out. So we're trying to be a positive influence. So, yeah, I used to be famous, and now I'm not. So there you go. My history is very diverse. A lot of the costs are associated with owning a household. That's right. 1, you have your carrying costs, and 2, you have your maintenance costs. And then 3, you have, oh, that would be really nice to see in my house cost. Oh, I would really like to have a bigger TV for my house cost. I mean, I just extended my back patio to make my dirty kitchen bigger so that we have more room because we sit outside a lot. Now it's only $300, but that's an added cost to my house. The American dream of home ownership is not for everyone. It's not. And there's nothing wrong with that, Tim. I'm a big believer. If you don't want to own a traditional house, don't buy one. If you like condos better, fine. If you like being a renter, which there's a lot of people that believe in this, a lot of people don't want to be tied to a house or a condo or anything because that means they can't get up and leave when they want. They would have to sell the condo or the house to move to New York or to move to Florida or Alabama or wherever. We have to do that. We have to sell this house to get to Alabama, right? But if you're a renter, you basically give notice, you pack your stuff, and you move. Yes, I think I can help you. I am aspiring social media manager, a freelancer. I'll get back to you and maybe make some clips of you. We can spread out the social media platforms. Great, sounds good. I have over 1,000 videos on our YouTube channel between my wife and I. Travel videos, immigration videos, relationship videos, you name it. Some suck, some don't. Outdoor videos, travel stuff. So, yes, for free, you'll be my first client. Excellent. I like free because we have no money because we're nobodies. So, there's going to be financial people that say, oh no, renting is throwing your money away. No, it's really not. It is, but it's not. If renting makes you happy because you don't want to mow a yard, take care of a house, stress over home ownership of a condo, and you want to be able to pick up and be free, then renting is the thing for you. Crystal's asking, Farah, do you have a website? Maybe you haven't started one yet. Maybe you're going to do that. Maybe you're going to become a big timer. So, but yeah, and my contact information's on my YouTube channel right there, right up top. My wife and I. So my channel's about my wife and I, and of course I do this for her. I'm trying to raise $5 million. If I haven't said that tonight, I e-beg, and I'm e-begging only for $5 million. I want to buy a beach house in Florida, and I need about $5 million to do it. So, just thought I would throw that out there. And if anybody has $5 million or $1 million from, or a dollar, I have a PayPal account that you can throw the money into my PayPal account. So, but don't get wrapped up in what other people think you should do. You do what you feel is right. Now, one thing, I'm old, I look back and go, you know what I should have done? When I bought my first house, I shouldn't have bought a house. I should have bought a duplex. I could have bought a duplex, lived in half, rented out the other side, made money, had that tenant pay my mortgage. I got to live for free. I should have done that for a few years, bought another one, did it again, and then went and bought a house. Ah, Tim says, Tim has over 400 videos on his channel. Nice. Yeah, I think we hit the 1,000 video mark a couple months back, Tim. They were over 1,000. So we our watch hours are still good every month. I mean, I wish they were better, but we just keep going and doing, Tim, is all we can do, right? Someday maybe we'll get lucky as YouTubers and somebody will take pity on us and go, hey, they got a good channel. Maybe we can help them out. Yep. There's also a cause with renting. I know a lot of people struggle with damage, deposits, tenants, insurance. Mind you, things in Alberta change over the years. Yeah, if you're a landlord, and that's why we don't have rental properties. We keep thinking about it, but then again, I don't want to clean up after renters. We've thought about doing something for an Airbnb. I don't want to take on that challenge. So there are hassles if you are the landlord. Now, one of the houses we sold, but we were going to rent it. I was going to hire a property management company. And they took 15% of the rent to cover their fees, and they would have handled everything. Crystal and Don, Day Chef, do not have a website still, but I'm gathering experiences working with people for free just to build my portfolio. Well, you got my email address. Reach out to me there, and we will help each other. Because if you do good for me, I will tell everybody in the world about how great you are. See what I mean? Yep, and Tim has a lot of educational videos about the Philippines and some travel videos. He does. And Tim has some good work. Nice, yet maybe I hope to gain a lot of experience. Yes. We all need experience in whatever field we're going to endeavor or we have a passion for. I do believe that if you're going to be a renter, one of the smart things you can do is take out renter's insurance. A lot of landlords do this. So let's say if I own a house and Tim is my renter, I'm going to go and take renter's insurance out on him. So if he burns my house down, I get extra money. So there's some of that going on too. But yes. Yeah, hope he gets to, we want everybody to be successful, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, working at Tyson Foods, wherever you work at, wherever you do, whatever you do, we want everybody to be successful in their endeavors. And if your dream is just to be retired, then we want you to be successful in your retirement. Here it's mandatory. Crystal, here, unless it's like me, I could decide not to. So, but you won't find any apartment complex where I live that doesn't run a full background check. But an individual landlord like me, I could do that. I could say, well, I'm not going to run it. But that would be really stupid. You're going to want to run a financial background check and a criminal background check. Because if they happen to be a registered sex offender, that could be a problem. There's a lot of issues there. But I know for sure that rental property companies do a mandatory criminal background check. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice, Tim? If you had experience on retired life, before you retire, you would be able to retire and be able to do it much better, right? Yeah, I'm with you. I wish my experience as a retired person was better because I miss working, but it is what it is. So, but I agree. I think a lot of people need to experience retired life before they retire because they may not find retired life that great or they may find it better than they think. I don't know. But, I mean, look, if we won the lottery, Tim, to be honest, guys, if I won the Powerball, then I would be tickled to death to be retired because I could travel the world, have assistants help me, do everything I ever wanted to do, then retirement would be great. But unless you have boatloads of money and can just run around and enjoy and entertain yourself all the time when you want to, retirement can be a little boring. You know, it's a little misleading. What do you think about vulnerable sector checks? Did landlords and those in positions of authority? Vulnerable sector. I don't know what that means, Crystal. What would a vulnerable sector check mean? I don't know what that means. So can you tell me a little bit more about that? Yeah, I don't know what that one means. I know here they run criminal and financial background checks. They run your credit report. So, yeah. But yeah, that's a new one to me. Or maybe here we call it something different. We do have laws about discrimination. We can't discriminate to renters. You know, we can't say, oh, we don't like people from Mexico, so we're not going to rent to them. We can't do that. We have to be open and fair about that. So, but we were going to hire a property management company to manage our house, but we got a really good financial offer to sell it, so we took it. But it was going to run me 15% to pay their fees, and then I had to put another 10% of the rent into an escrow account to cover the damages on the house. So 25% of my rent was going to have a property management cover the house, take care of everything. Yeah, we have that. They check to see about sex offender. We call it the sex offender registry here. And that's part of the background check. Yes, we do that already here. We do that already. Because sex offenders in America, they have to register every time they move. If they don't, they violated the terms of their release agreement. Well, Tim, the good thing about credit scores, you only need a credit score if you want to finance something. But if you're paying cash or have nothing more that you need to finance, like in your situation, then who gives a crap about a credit score? Credit score is a little bit of a hustle. We're teaching young people, hey, you got to have a good credit score. Well, no, not if you pay your way, not if you pay for everything in advance. You don't need a credit score, right? But the banking industry, our culture, is trying to give us, no, you got to go into debt. Because how do you get a credit score? By going into debt. The only way to get a credit score is to go into debt. And who benefits from you going in debt? Corporations in the banking industry, right? So it's a sales pitch to get you to go into debt. That's exactly what it is. And it works very well in America. And it's starting to work well in the Philippines, but in other countries. But I'm telling you, debt is the worst thing you can do. But if you have no desire to buy new cars all the time or anything like that, then you don't need a good credit score. Hey, the pro fisherman's back in the house saying hello to all of you kind and wonderful people on YouTube on a Friday night. Pro fisherman, Pro Fisher, how's your day been? What's been going on in your world? My wife and I are getting ready to leave town in a little bit, so we're staying up late tonight doing a little bit of a later live stream. But just keep that in mind. But America is designed where you can't make enough money to buy a house in cash. And if they do, the government goes, oh, how did you get that money? You know, it's really bad. handling large sums of cash in America is dangerous because the IRS can come and seize it. The government can take it. The police can take it and say, until you can prove how you got that 20 grand, we're going to take it from you. You can build up your credit, Tim. You have a phone bill or electric bill or any type of bills. Yeah, but what Tim is saying, Tim doesn't need a credit rating. He doesn't need one because he pays cash for everything. So he doesn't need one or want a credit rating. But yes, there's a lot of small micro ways that you can have a credit report. My days have been good, the Fisher says, but I don't want to go back to school on Monday. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a note right now. It's verbal, which is legal. You are excused from work and or school on Monday. All right? From signed the pack. Got it? The pack is me. That will get you out of school and work on Monday. Got it? Day's been good. It's been busy, you know. It's been busy, been good. We're excited. We're happy. Weather's been good. The dogs are good. You know, the internet's working. Everything's good. Yeah, where Tim is at in the Philippines, they don't have credit scores. They're starting to issue credit out in the Philippines, but they don't have a credit score. It's a totally different financial system in the Philippines. But here in America and Western countries, a credit score, right. I don't know. I have a perfect credit score, luckily. But it's a gimmick. It's a scam to keep you into debt. Because if you have no debt, and you're right, Crystal, if you're paying your utilities, if the utility companies are reporting your payments to the credit bureau, then that helps your credit score, right? But they're still going to look at it and go, oh, from a credit score standpoint, not a purchasing ability, they're going to go, oh, well, you don't have any credit card debt, you didn't buy a car on credit, you didn't do any of this stuff on credit, so we don't like you. So we're going to lower your credit score because you don't use credit. And that's not right. I've known a lot of people that paid cash for everything for years, and then all of a sudden, something happened, and they needed a credit score, and there was zero. I'm like, you know. Everyone in my family has a good credit score. Good. And in American society, you kind of got to have one, sadly. But the bigger thing is this. Don't get hung up on your credit score. What I encourage people to do, stay out of debt. Pay for everything you can in cash. If you need a car, do your best to save up enough money to pay cash for one. Don't get hung up on a credit score. The other thing is do the right thing financially. Be a good steward of your money. If you're a good steward of your money, then your credit score is really not going to matter. You remember how I caught the 9.8 bass? Didn't you tell me you had like an 8-inch rainbow worm? I don't know why Canada has been in debt over the years and who was the first individual in Alberta to go into debt. Yeah, should Google that. You should, yeah, it might help you out. I even pay cash for my airline tickets for my vacations, yeah. So, debt's a scam, people. It's a hustle to get you to pay somebody interest money. That's what it is. Understand that. Going into debt is never good for you. And let me tell you this, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day because they just got a car with 0% interest. And they're all excited. And I told them, I said, I hate to tell you this, there is no such thing as 0% interest on a loan. Like, well, but right here, no interest. Yeah, but there's an administrative fee attached to that loan that substitute for an interest rate. So you're paying the interest rate one way or the other. And sometimes the administration fee, or whatever they want to call it, can be higher than an interest rate that you could have got. So 0% interest on cars can be a gigantic scam. I caught an even bigger one of 910. Nice. Excellent. I didn't catch any fish today because I didn't go, but we're going to go fishing next week in the Gulf of America. Crystal says, nice. I do not have an online banking. I hate it. I refuse to buy anything online. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of people that still don't do that. We do it. We have a lot of stuff online. It's convenient and easy. It makes moving money around much easier. I like it. I was hesitant in the early days of having my utilities directly withdrawn from my bank accounts. I was very hesitant. But then when I realized I could put them on levelized billing, which meant I knew exactly how much would come out of my check every month to pay my electric bill, my water bill, my gas bill, I didn't have to worry about boop, boop, boop. Then I got much more comfortable with it. You like Bass? Well, then you must be rich. Because only rich people shop at Bass Pro Shops. So you must be a rich person. I go to Bass Pro some, Cabela's, Bass Pro. Okay. I have it all. I hate to say this because it makes me look like a drug addict. I have about 40 different rods and reel combos. Some of them still brand new, never used. Spinning reels, bait casters, ultralights, deep sea rods and reels. 40 or 50. I have everything. I have every kind there is. Trigger ones. I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I'm not proud of myself. But my wife collects shoes. My wife has a lot of shoes, so why can't I have a lot of fishing tackle and fishing gear? So, yeah, I have a lot. I mean, a lot. Just don't tell anybody. Because when I tell everybody I have a lot of fishing tackle, nobody feels sorry for me, and nobody will donate $5 million so I can buy a beach house. So, you been to the Bass Pro Shop? Yeah, we like Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, We live where Johnny Morris is from, who owns Bass Pro Shops. He's about 2 hours away up in Branson, Missouri. You didn't pay $3,000. You paid almost $3,000 for a rod and reel? I would never do that. That's bonkers. I would never do that. Never. I would never do that. Never. The most I've ever, I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think that type of equipment. I've gotten some really expensive saltwater stuff given to me, and I bought some really expensive saltwater stuff on clearance, but I would never spend that kind of money. Just saying, man. Connects is in the house. At least you have fishing gear. You can get food. That's right. But also a little ashamed. I know the feeling. I mean, I got enough fishing gear for all of us. In fact, when I go with friends who don't fish a lot, I tell them it's fine. Just get your own license. I got plenty of tackle, plenty of rods and reels. You can borrow them. We'll all go fishing. Connect says, fish, yes. How are you? Connects, how are you? How are things for you? They need to invent something for people who like to fish but don't like to take the hooks out of the fish. They already have that. I have multiple tools. Do you know what a hemostat is? Like in medical conditions where they use like a clamp, a hemostat? A hemostat works great. I have a 12-inch long hemostat that has a slight curve to it. You use that to unhook the fish and you just throw it out and you never have to touch the fish. Man, that's an expensive setup, buddy. Wow. What brand is it? Is it dipped in gold? Yeah, doing good, Canuck says. Nice. But they were premium, supreme. Yeah. Yeah, I got some pin setups and some really high-end stuff, but I just never paid full price. You caught a shark yesterday? I didn't know there was any sharks in Germany. Because aren't you in Germany? I thought all the sharks lived somewhere else. We're going to go fishing here soon. Yeah, we love saltwater fishing. Crystal, they have tools like that. It's usually called a menu, meaning just go to a restaurant and get a fish. They were sponsored by Supreme, and it was actually with the Gold Supreme written all over it. Wow. Wow. Man, for $3,000, my God, I could have took multiple deep sea fishing trips. You know, I could have bought another 50 or 60 rod and reels. So I don't do that. I'm very frugal when it comes to fishing stuff. Walmart is a great place to catch fishing tackle on clearance. So a couple of years ago, Walmart, one of our local Walmarts put all of their rods and reels of a certain brand, a Walmart brand, on clearance for $5. There was about 60 of them. I bought all 60 of them, brought them home. I started selling them on Facebook for $25 each. And at Walmart, they were $29 each, regular price. You know, when they were at Walmart, 29 something. So I got them all for $5. I put them on for $25, and I sold all 60 of them like in 1 week. And I did keep one. I think I gave a couple away. I didn't keep any of them. Yeah, for $3,000, it better cook, clean, and come home and do the dishes. It's a very good profit. So I'm a big clearance fan. I don't like paying full price. I dig around, and if I truly don't need it, I don't buy it. And right now, I'm so full of fishing equipment that I haven't bought anything in about a week. So, how would I make YouTube great again? Are we talking about on a macro level or a micro level? So, you're talking about a large scale or a small scale? No, thank you, Tim. I like fishing, but I don't like to take them off the hook because they jump around. So I need that invention that you mentioned. Yep, hemostats. And they got a lot of other ones. But you can just simply get you a $12 pair of hemostats. They don't rust. They work great. Never have a problem with it. Whatever you love, macro. Well, here's what I would do. Good. You bought something for your friends. I hope it wasn't $3,000, or it better have been a really good-looking friend. Crystal, I know what you mean. So to make YouTube great again, one thing I would do is I would put a random generator on YouTube. And here's what I mean. Right now, YouTube works with an algorithm. So if Tim gets a video that starts getting a lot of traction, YouTube will promote it because they think they're going to make more money off of it, right? YouTube does. And so, but YouTube is so big and so gigantic, so they have an algorithm that uses a mathematical formula that says, hey, David's video is getting some attention. Let's push it out to people. I wish they had a random generator, meaning they would take all the videos uploaded to YouTube and put them in a big spinning mode and push them out. Push everybody's video out, no matter how big or little or how much traction the video gets. Because my theory is you can't get traction unless you have traction, right? So if they would start randomly encouraging people to go watch all these random videos from these channels that are very small versus only recommending really big channels, that would be what I would do. I would keep the other system. I would add a random video propagator. It's only 130 bucks. You're a good friend, man. The Pro Fisher, have I told you that I got a PayPal account on my YouTube channel right there? Man, you feel free. My birthday's coming up, and I would be happy to have a birthday present. That's pretty good. A separate rod and reel and 20 baits. 20 baits, yeah. Well, this has been fun. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you. Take care, Crystal. Correct. Tired of seeing the same over and over. That's, what's your favorite seafood? I like scallops really well. And I like grouper. So that's what I would do, guys. So we don't get to see the same big channels putting out stuff. That we would get a little bitty channel stuff. And it would just be random. Be a big old mix, and the computer would just spit this stuff out and send it out every day, every hour. No matter how big your channel was. Lobster? Yeah, we like lobster. My wife loves lobster. We found a couple good ways to eat a lot of lobster. It is every month. That's what I was saying, Tim. You know, I mean, come on. I'm not silly here. I'm having a birthday in a couple of days. So, you know, feel free to go to my PayPal account so I can buy a new fishing rod. I won't even tell my wife. Every month it is. So, when we go on cruises, if you like lobster, you can get lobster on the menu and eat as much as you like and not have to pay extra for it. I'm just saying. Scallops are good if they're broiled. I like scallops in a lot of different ways. I like clams too. I like fried clams. Granted, I'm fat, I'm old, and I'm American, so I really like fried seafood. But I really like baste. But I like scallops and clams. I don't know. There's a lot of lobster's good. Shrimp, I'm okay with, but shrimp is not the highest on my list. I don't get excited about shrimp. Nice piece of grouper or cod, swordfish, lobster tail, you know, scallops. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. But shrimp is just too common for me. It's just like, yeah, we eat shrimp all the time. It's just like, whatever. So, you know, that's how I am. I like grilled scallops. You just grill them lightly, man, boom, boom. Shrimps are flavorless if not done right. So shrimp really don't have much of a flavor. It takes on the flavor that you cook them in. And so I get bored of shrimp. I'm like, me too, Tim. I try to avoid deep fried food. I'm just saying I like it. I'm not saying I'm eating it. I don't even order it usually. I order the healthier stuff, based in butter. So which is healthier, the deep fried or the based in butter, right? You know, or the heavy cream, you know, which is better for you when it comes to stuff like that. But I like the fried, but I'm not eating it. But I do like it. So where you go, you can pay 50 bucks for anybody over 12, 30 and under. Dessert, salad, you only have to pay when you walk in and not after when you're, nice. So they're having like a lobster buffet, so you can have as much lobster as you want for 50 bucks. That's pretty good. We've been to some buffets like that. We've been to some of those like that too. Like at casinos. We went to a casino. You like fried chicken? Well, here's something you ought to try if you like fried chicken. There is a recipe out there for what they call Korean fried chicken. It's different than KFC. It's Korean, like the country, fried chicken. That's really good chicken. And I like KFC too. I don't like the chicken. I like the skin. It's all you can eat. Really get French fries. I don't like French fries. I'm not a French fry fan. It's like today when we went to Chick-fil-A, they give out potato wedges versus French fries. I don't take, Lorelai likes them. I don't like them. I got the mac and cheese. Cadet says, I have been in Washington for about 2 days and things are definitely not normal for me. Normal for you? All right, if that's what you mean. Hey, there's the American Roadrunner. How are you, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, brother, seen you in a minute. Yeah, it's been busy for us. How about you? How are you? What have you been doing? We've been doing good. We're getting ready to go to the Gulf of America. So we're going to go hang out for Gulf America for a week, do some fishing and sightseeing and some other things and have a good time. So we've been doing good, though. Been well. I like Raising Cane's. Oh, Raising Cane's the most. Okay. I've had their chicken. It's, I'm just not a huge fried chicken fan. We've been doing great. Been busy. Yeah, I know. Life gets in the way, right? Life gets in the way. Life gets in the way of our entertainment, and that's sad. So, but yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. Staying busy, trying to, lose weight, trying to be healthier, trying to build my YouTube channel, trying to be smart. I'm still e-begging for a $5 million beach house, but nobody has given it to me yet. So, yeah. But other than that, things are good, buddy. I mean, we're off to we're going to be leaving in a couple of hours, and we're going to do some live streams and things and make some videos. And I slacked off on making YouTube videos because I got kind of tired. So, but I'm starting to get my energy level back up to where I'm going to get some videos made. The older you get, the more you get to do. There you go. How is the donos doing? Oh, you mean the dogs? Is that dogs? My dogs are doing good. They're going to take a calming medicine in about an hour, and then they're going in the car with us. So we're taking them with us to the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. And what did I tell you about that? Remember? Because you said it was right around your birthday, right? And the pro fisherman, do you remember what I told you to do? Oh, donations. Not well. That's not well. Nobody's donated me $5 million, and I don't understand why. I really don't. I've been trying for almost a year, and nobody has put $5 million in my PayPal account so that I can go buy a house. I don't understand it personally. I just don't get it. I'm kind of disappointed. I think I'm doing something wrong, right? I must be doing something wrong. But how are you liking Washington? Are you having fun? What are you thinking of it? What have you eaten? Have you eaten anything in America that you've been shocked by? That you went, oh, wow, this is interesting? Oh, my goodness, pro fisherman, you said you don't remember what I told you, what advice I gave you? Oh, my goodness gracious. I want the Golden Corral in Tacoma. All right. Kind of a buffet steakhouse. Pack, you might as well ask for the $10 million and get the nice boathouse and boat for fishing. Well, you're right, Tim. I might as well because it's not going any good. Pro Fisher, what I told you was this. Because you said that your grandfather died like the day before your birthday. And you were upset and worried about that and about how it's going to make you feel. I told you that it's a great opportunity on your birthday to always remember how much fun and how good of a guy that you had with your grandfather. So don't look at it as a negative, look at it as a positive. Because now on your birthday, you're going to celebrate your birthday, and you can look back and go, yeah, and I remember my grandpa and I would do this. And that will brighten your day versus taking it into a negative way. Well, I got the Harley done, put back together, and I'm ready for summer. Woohoo! Man, we're ready for summer too. Now I remember. See? Here I am giving you great advice, and you can't even buy me fishing tackle. Man, I don't know about you. Yeah, we're ready for summer. I mean, we're going down to the Gulf of America before summer hits. But we got some work to do, and then we're going to be busy all summer. So we are too. Pro Fisherman says, well, I got to go. I'll see you guys another time. Thank you for entertaining me for tonight. We appreciate you more than you know. Well, thank you, Pro Fisherman. I appreciate those kind words. So, yeah. So it's exciting. Well, thinking of that, it's almost 11 o'clock here. I'm going to get off of here in a few minutes. So we're going to wrap this up because Lorelai gets off in about an hour. I got some packing I need to do. I got to get stuff organized and get the dog squared away, do some things. So I wanted to come on late tonight and do a little bit of a live stream to keep me entertained while I'm waiting. And then we're going to try to leave. We got the house ready to go. We got, a buddy coming over, taking care of things. We got everything at 12 o'clock here. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock here. My wife gets off in at 12 o'clock. We're going to finish loading the car and try to leave by 1 o'clock. Have a good night. We will. Thank you. We appreciate that, Connects. I hope you keep enjoying your time here in the United States. So keep doing that. So, but I still got to, just get a few little things done. Make sure everything's taken care of. Yeah, look for us. We're going to try to do some more live streams next week and different things. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate any of you guys going back and watching some of our videos. Because that helps. We know that you love the live streams, but go back and try to watch some of the videos, make a comment, because that helps YouTube like me, But yeah, thank you, Tim. We appreciate that. We got a good, about an 11-hour drive. So it's good. Well, and it might be a little bit longer, stopping for pee breaks and gas, taking the dogs out, letting them get some exercise, So it'll probably take us 12 hours to get to our Airbnb. But we're going to do a video on the Airbnb. We're going to do a lot of videos on the locations we're looking at, the fishing pier, short videos, long video. We're going to do all kinds of good stuff. So we appreciate everybody coming in and supporting us more than you know. But for now, take care. And we will check in with you guys later in the week down in the Gulf of America. America, or the Gulf of Pack. What did Dennis come up with? All right, my friends, take care. We appreciate you. Be safe. See you again, American Roadrunner. We appreciate you.